Hi viewers, I'm James Reed from ABT. I have here with me the 2019 champion from St Clair of the Sufix Bass Pro Series, brought to you by Evinrude. Really fitting that he's taken out this round as he's an Evinrude runner, and he's got a lovely Bass Cat Sabre. What's your name, mate?
Mark Ferguson.
And where are you from?
Lake Macquarie, New South Wales.
So you're not quite from here, but you're not too far away. I'm guessing you fish here a little bit?
Yeah, about an hour and 20 minutes, so this is my local. We come here fairly often, any chance we get.
Okay, you tell me that you've won a few comps here in the past, but you haven't won an ABT here yet.
No, this is my first ABT win here, which is good.
You got to be pumped with that.
Stoked, yeah.
Nice. All right, so give us a little bit of a rundown on your pre-fish on Friday, what you were doing and what made you realise what you had to do to potentially win this tournament.
Yeah, Friday I turned up just to fish. I was going to fish plastics, that's it. Shallow as I could. I caught a few good fish, and then I sort of worked out that the better fish were holding in the shallowest banks you could get. The steeper banks seemed to be getting a lot of pressure, a lot of people fishing them, and all my good fish were coming off the real shallow flat banks with the weed. So I just stuck to that, and that was where I went and fished.
Okay, so you figured that out in your pre-fish. You went out on day one. What were your expectations on how you were going to run around with 52 boats on a little lake like St Clair? You obviously had a bit of a game plan, and it worked out. No one else figured it out.
Yeah. I have a spot. I always want to go in and try and catch my bag in any tournament, and I worked out where we could get 5 quick, and it paid off. Took a bit longer to get them than I thought. Took about 20 minutes, but we got them quick, and then just moved around, just constantly moving around, fishing. Pick a bank, fish it, move, pick a bank. Anywhere that looked like no one else would want to fish it.
Okay, so you're trying to find banks, obviously, where nobody else had fished. You didn't want to fish anyone else's dirty water. But as you were saying, guys were fishing a little bit deeper. Do you reckon the technique that you were using, you might have been able to push in a little bit shallower and get those fish that guys potentially hadn't casted at?
I did, yeah. I watched a lot of people in a lot of banks, like everywhere is fished. There's nowhere that wasn't fished. And a lot of guys were fishing, and I could see they were a bit wider than me, whereas I was making sure my plastic was hitting the bank, and if it didn't have a bite within the first 3 cranks, I'd wind in and chuck it again.
Okay, so you're pretty much power fishing a plastic to the edges.
Yeah, just wanting that shallow weed, unless you're in real shallow and there's weed everywhere, but other than that, you just want that first section. That's all I wanted. Sink it down, rip it out the weed, and if you could come clear without weed on your plastic, they'd grab it. It might take 100 casts before that happens. You get constantly shaking it off, but the one where you can clear without weed, I'll jump on it.
Okay, and who was your non-boater on day one?
I had Jason Martin day one.
You had a pretty handy non-boater on day one. He knows how to put a few fish in the well. That was, we talk about dream draws from non-boaters, but now with the shared weight, boaters are looking for those guys, non-boaters coming through that they know can catch fish too to help fill the bags.
Yeah. No, he was a nice guy, good to fish with.
You can definitely fish. All right, so there's your day one plan. Obviously, with the bag that you had on day one was very good. It had you going out in second place only. Yeah. What did you have, 4.44 or something like that?
Yeah, a bit over 100 grand, nearly 200 behind
Russell Babacule. And so then you went out on day two. Did you stick to the same game plans that you had on day one? It's pretty silly to change with a bag like that.
Yeah, the day I had Saturday, I would have caught easily well over 40 fish yesterday. So I thought I'm just going to do exactly the same. It was a lot tougher this morning. It took me about an hour to finish filling my bag. And my first bank where I actually had to leave that and go to another one where I knew they were really small, but I knew I could get my 4, and we got 4 just legals off that, and then went all the other spots that I've been getting good fish and picked up the odd one here and there.
Okay, so as you said, it's a little bit slower on Sunday to Saturday, and it just goes to show with a small dam like St Clair, 2 days of pressure with the pre-fish and then the Saturday, and 52 boats running around. These fish know what these big engines sound like, and they know what's about to happen.
They do, yeah. I've noticed this dam a lot. The pressure, the fish is different in the tournament to what it does in pre-fish. Like they get them on top water and that, but it does slow down. The bigger fish sort of go down into that weed. They don't like coming out of it when there's this much pressure, and you got to get into that weed to get them.
No, they're definitely not silly, these fish. We've been fishing tournaments here for a long time, and as we know, a lot of guys these days, it's a catch and release mentality. So a lot of these fish have been caught before, and they know what's going on when they hear all their engines running around.
Yeah.
All right, so there's your rundown. You give us a rundown on your 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, and a little bit on your pre-fish. Give us a rundown on the tackle that you were using.
I just use all the Berkeley gear with the rods and reels. The new Tara X, new MGX Extreme that's just come out.
And you've got a matched up with the same reel?
Yep.
Yeah, nice and light.
Yeah, that's the new MGX Extreme. They're super light. It's
And-
got the X9 braid on it, a little damn deep and a little Kitech.
Nice little Kitech in the AU colour, and I think you were one of the only ones that I heard of that was actually dipping your tail in chartreuse.
Yep.
And
Okay.
do you do that for a reason? Do you find they just hone in on it a little bit more, or?
For me, they do. I don't know if it actually even makes a difference, to be honest. I catch them without it. It's just like a peace of mind for me. It's just something I like to do.
Okay.
It probably doesn't matter at all, really.
No. Well, have you got anyone that you like to thank? Sponsors, friends,
Yeah.
family, all the rest of it?
I've got to thank the family, wife, the kids. They let me come away. It's awesome. Thanks. Pure Fishing, Berkeley have a Garcia. Massive thanks to them. They give me all my gear. They look after me. They're great. Kitech, Morrison Outboards, Evinrude. They all look after me.
Awesome. Well, there you go. We've got our 2019 Sufix Bass Pro champion, Mark Ferguson. Congratulations, mate. Well done.
Thank you.
You definitely loaded up this weekend. You took away $3,000, a $250 bonus, a trophy from Joey Urquhart, and the bragging rights for the next year.
That's right, yeah.
Awesome. Well done, Mark Ferguson. Thank you.
Thanks, mate.